what is it that you are promoting. So that is inbound marketing. By seeing something, people should come to us. So
Okay, okay, understood.
on that banner, you can write something promotional with which people will get attracted. Something related to, say, real estate. So I mean, maybe
Right.
you can
Offer.
offers you can provide, or maybe some discount, or you can waive off some of the fees. Uh, like that, you can provide something with which people will get attracted. That is inbound
Okay.
marketing. Yeah.
Oh,
So now, uh, last time we were doing this introduction to digital marketing. So in today's session, what we'll be doing is search engine optimization. So let's begin with search engine optimization. Today, I'll be showing you some of these slides which will help you to understand what is search engine optimization. Okay. I hope you are able to see my screen.
yes, sir.
Okay. So search engine optimization is the most important module in digital marketing, and it will be used throughout the digital marketing course till the last module, mobile marketing. So what exactly is search engine optimization? So search engine optimization, in this session, we will be learning everything about what is search engine optimization, what is search engine results page, what is the difference between search engine optimization and pay-per-click, then what exactly are search engines, what are the main components of search engines. Then in search engine optimization, we have two types of optimization. One is on-page optimization and second one is off-page optimization. Then we have lots of keyword research and other options that we have. So those are the things that we are going to see, like Search Console. That is a different module that we'll be seeing later on. But today we'll be seeing what is search engine optimization, and after that we will be implementing it in the next session, that how exactly we can do search engine optimization practically. So now coming to search engine optimization, what exactly is search engine optimization? So it says that all the efforts that we work on our website to rank or say show up in search engine is called search engine optimization. And say the results that comes up on the page, that page is called as search engine results page. So whenever you search something in Google, and the page which comes up with the results, that page is called as search engine results page. So if we talk about search engine optimization, say this is really very important, because only with this method your websites can easily come up in search engines, because there are few things that we need to do on our website. So besides creating a website, we need to optimize that website for search engine optimization with all the keywords that are related to your business. Say in your case, it is a real estate business. So you should know what are the things that people search when it comes to real estate. Say like looking out for a new house, or say for rent, flats for rent, flat for sale, or say stamp duty and transfer, then property transfer, property sale, property buying. There are various keywords with which people search something or the other in real estate business. So you should prepare the list of those keywords which you uh, need in your field, which you can implement in your website. So that is very important. And then those keywords which you have prepared the list, we will be using those keywords to know whether people are searching for those keywords or not. See, I have prepared a list for the all the products or services that I'm offering. But first of all, I should know whether people are searching for those keywords or not. Say if I'm selling digital marketing courses. So say for me, digital marketing course is my product. So I use digital marketing course as my keyword, and I want to search if people are searching for this keyword or not. Now say if I optimize my website with that keyword, but at the end I get to know that nobody is searching for that keyword. So how will my website come up in search engine? So that is the most important part. So we have certain tools with which we get to know that on an average how many monthly searches are happening on Google. So yes, Google has provided us with some tools that is called as Google Keyword Planner, with which we get to know that which keyword is being searched for how many times in a month. So that all things comes into search engine optimization. Now, this is the search engine results page where all the results comes up when we search for something. So suppose I'm searching for a bakery over here and all the results are coming up. So this page is called as search engine results page. Now, say whenever we search something on Google, we will find two sections. The first one is with the some ads over here. Say let me open mm, a browser, and over here I search for say digital marketing course. So here you can see this is an ad over here. This is an ad. Over here also you can see this is an ad, and if we scroll down, this is organic results. So organic results are the results where people have taken time and efforts to do search engine optimization and get their websites to the top of the results. So this is say search engine optimization, SEO, and this is pay per click. So this is pay per click. So what we can see over here, this is PPC. So PPC means pay per click. Now why pay per click? Because say every keyword has a value. So maybe if this keyword is having a value of 35 rupees, then whenever I'm searching with this keyword, see all the results which are coming up will contain this keyword, say digital marketing course. So here in the title we can see digital marketing course. Over here also we can see digital marketing. Over here also we can see digital marketing course. Over here in the description also we see digital marketing course. So now when people will click on this link, so at that time 35 rupees or whatever is the rate of this particular keyword will be deducted from these people's account. So they have already uploaded some amount to Google in their wallet, and from there these amount are deducted. So whenever we do paid advertising, at that time this amount will get deducted from that account, from their wallet. So that is the reason it is called as pay per click. It is also called as search ads, because whenever we are searching for something and these ads comes up, so that is the reason it is called as search ads. So, and these are the organic results that we can see. So that is by SEO. So there are two sections over here. So this is difference between pay-per-click, that is inorganic marketing, and organic marketing. Here people do not need any time and efforts. They just need to pay, and once they pay within 2 hours, their results will be coming up in search engines or wherever they are doing the advertisements. And with search engine optimization over here, these results come with respect to time, how much efforts they have taken, how much work they have done, how much research they have done. So after implementing all the strategies of these website links will come up in search engine. So that is the reason it is called as organic marketing, which is also called as search engine optimization. Now, the next thing is, what are search engines? So, if we talk about search engines, then they are a small softwares which will provide you with the results from whatever you are searching. So all search engines work the same way, and there are many search engines: Google, Yahoo, MSN, Ask, AOL, Bing. Like this, we have various search engines. Now, uh, now we need to study how does a search engine work. Now, why do we need to know how does a search engine work? I mean, because any which ways I'm going to do search engine optimization on my website, but if I talk about knowing search engines, then if I know a search engine better and how they function, then it is easy for me to get my website into search engine. So let's see how does a search engine work and what are the main components of search engine. So the first component is called as spider. It is also called as robot. Over here we can see it is also known as robot or a crawler. So what is the function of this spider? Spider is a program that a search engine uses to follow links throughout the internet, grabbing content from these sites and adding it to search engine database. So these spiders will follow all over the internet. They will go all over the internet wherever there are lots of websites. So they will go to each and every website, and it will crawl all the content, all the links of the website, whether they are internal links or external links. So internal links means the links going to the other pages of the same website, and external links or outbound links are the links linking to the other websites. So suppose I click on one of the word and another website opens, then that is called as outbound link or external link. So they will collect all the links from their website, and it will add it to the search engine. Now the next thing component is crawling. So what is this crawling process? So crawling is the process in which spider finds the documents on the web. When a spider visits a website, it picks over entire website's content and stores it in the databank. So crawling is the process of going through the websites, all the pages, and collecting the content and storing into database. So the process of spider is the person who goes and collects the data. So it's not basically a person, of course it's a software, and crawling is the process of collecting the documents. So it collects everything. Document means anything, like it collects text, it collects images, PDF, videos, your Facebook post, your Twitter tweets, your any social media or any content that you have uploaded today on internet. So anything which can be uploaded online, that is collected with these spiders. So these spiders collect all these things. Now the next thing is indexing. So indexing is the process where all the collected data, so now all the data which is collected are arranged in a particular order. So it is same like you go to a library, and in the library, if you want to find a book, you will have different sections where you can find the books on the same topic. So say same category or same topics, something like that. So it is same thing over here. Now if a person will search for digital marketing course, so all the websites which are say have done best search engine optimization will be arranged in a particular order, that this website should be displayed at the first top of the result, then second position, then third position, then fifth position, sixth position, seventh position, like that. Millions and trillions of results. See over here, if we go to Google, we can see how many results are there. So we can see over here, so many results are there, so many results we got for this particular keyword, and these all are arranged in a particular order. So over here we can see this website is at the first position, this is at the second position, this is at the third position, this is at the fourth position, then fifth position, like this. All these websites are arranged in a particular order, that the best ones are shown at the first result on the first page, then second page, then third page, and in that page also position wise, first position, second position, third position, like that. So all these results are arranged in that particular way. So that process is called as indexing. So it is arranging all the web pages in Google search, so that when people will search, so appropriate websites will come up in their browsers in a particular fashion, arranged in a particular order. So that all the information can be revealed easily and quickly whenever a person is searching for any keyword. So that is indexing. After that, the last process is retrieval. So retrieval is the process when a person will search for a keyword in search engine, and the data from Google's database will come up and shown in your browser. So in search engine results page, all the results will be shown. So that is the retrieval process. So that is the last process. So this is how the search engine works. Now, coming to the main point, now collecting all the data. Now, what type of data does it collect? So now I told you that it collects images, videos, text, then say all post, anything, whatever you upload on internet, or whatever thing that can be uploaded on the internet, it will collect. Then which type of data? So any content which is uploaded today. So these browsers go all over the internet. They are on the internet 24 hours a day. So they work continuously. So whatever content is uploaded today, so all that content is gathered. Now next tomorrow, whatever content will be uploaded, so that all content will be collected and added in Google's database. But now the most important thing is that the content which is collected from these millions and billions and trillions of these websites, which are or whatever content is uploaded daily, it will collect only the original content. So say suppose before collecting the data from a website. So if a crawler is coming, so this spider is coming to my website and it crawls my website. And before collecting the data from my website, it will first check with the database of Google that whether this content is available in Google's database or not. So if it finds that yes, this data is there, it is already there in Google's database, and that content belongs to these all websites. So it means that I might have copied from various websites and then created my content. So then it will leave that content. It will not collect that content. So now you understood that whenever you create a website, I cannot copy the content from any other website. So otherwise, what we think that okay, चलो यहाँ से content लेते हैं. I do not know how to create a content, so that is a bit difficult thing. I cannot take copy anybody's content and put it in my website. So that's not possible at all. And even if you do that, the only thing that will happen is that your website will not come up in search engine in the lifetime of the website. So the best thing is to create a content yourself, your about your business, because nobody knows better than you about your business. So you write yourself about your business, create all the pages, and select all the best keywords and use it in your website. So that is the reason we always need to know that whenever we want to add any content anywhere, whether I'm adding it into Facebook or YouTube or anywhere, on say Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other social media website or my own website, all the content wherever I post should be original content, otherwise it will not be taken up. So this is how the search engine works. So now coming to the first part of optimization, that how exactly search engine optimization works. So the first part is on page optimization. So what does on page optimization mean? So on page optimization means that all the efforts that we are going to take is on the page. It means on the website. So we have to work on our website. So what are the things that we need to work on? So over here we have few things. The first thing is title tag. So what is title tag? Whenever you go to search engine, you can see this blue colored text. So over here you can see this is blue colored text. So this is called as title.
So your screen is not appearing here,
My
sir.
screen is not shared. Oh my God. So till now you are not able to see my screen.
Yeah.
You should have.
Till spider and crawling I have seen.
Okay.
After that, it's not
Okay.
appearing over here.
Okay. Fine. I don't know. It just got disabled. Fine. Now I hope you are able to see. Okay.
Yeah.
So, say the title tags. So these are the title tags that we can see. So in the language of search engine optimization, we call them as meta title. It is called as meta title. So these meta title, first of all, is what we can see on the top over here. Say suppose I open this website, I will see this text over here on the top. What happened? Okay, yes, it's opening. So this is fundamentals of digital marketing. So here you can see fundamentals of digital marketing. So it is over here. So this particular title should contain our important keyword. So let me go a little deep into the content creation. So, how does this all work? So now, say suppose I want to write about, say, real estate. So fine, let us take the topic real estate. So with related to real estate, I need to find all the related keywords in real estate. So I prepare a list, and then I want to write a topic on it. So I might write a blog on, say, how to buy a property. So whenever I write how to buy a property or say something related to property, I want to write a blog or something, some good topic on real estate. So maybe like real estate taxes and real estate stamp duty or understanding real estate stamp duty and registration process. So all these things. So say suppose I want to write a topic on that. So I will I will first select the keyword, or I will first select the topic on which I want to write a blog. Then I will select the important keyword, so on which I want to write. So important keyword. So over here, definitely my keyword is real estate. So I will use real estate over here. So around here, real estate, my main keyword. This is my main keyword on which I want to write a topic. So my topic is on real estate. So just real estate will not work. So I need to use all supporting keywords which are related to real estate. So there are various tools with which we will find. So we will see those tools also. So with that, I will get to know that okay, when people are searching in real estate, there are many keywords that people search with. So those are called as secondary keywords. So secondary keywords are basically supporting keywords to the main focus keyword. So this is called as focus keyword or my primary keyword. So and all other keywords related to real estate would be secondary keywords which I need to use in my content. So these all keywords I need to use in my content. So secondary keywords will also use in my content, And third one is, say, they are tertiary keywords, or say we can also call it as, say, phrases. So now phrases can be a normal phrase, or it can be a long tail keyword. So what is long tail keyword? So if I use, say, marketing, then it is a keyword. Then I might use digital uh, marketing, so even that is a keyword. So now I might use, say, one more, like digital marketing course. So this is a phrase, you can say, or this is a secondary keyword, you can say. Now I might write digital marketing course in Mumbai. So this is a phrase, or we can call this as a long tail keyword. So if a person wants to do a digital marketing course, people will not search for digital marketing course. People will search with their location. So this is very precise, and your website will come up easily with long tail keywords. These are all broad range keywords, and your website might not come up with these keywords, or else this is very difficult to rank. I mean, I would say the keyword difficulty is very hard, that you might take months or years to get your website with this keyword. But yes, it is very easy to rank your website with the long tail keywords. And the best thing is that people who are searching with long tail keywords are your actual customers, because if a person wants to do digital marketing, they will, and staying in Navi Mumbai, they will not search for digital marketing course in Mumbai. They will search for digital marketing course in Navi Mumbai. So precisely your content will come up. So like in your case also, real estate businesses in Mumbai, real estate businesses in Navi Mumbai, or real estate companies in Navi Mumbai. So then your website should come up. Then say property dealers in Mumbai, property dealers in Navi Mumbai, like that we can use various keywords. So those keywords are very easy to use, and your website can rank easily with those long tail keywords. So now this is what we had to understand, that how the keywords has to be used. Now we know that, okay, this is the main keyword of the topic that we are writing. So say suppose this is the page fundamentals of digital marketing. So over here we are learning something about digital marketing. So over here the main keyword would be digital marketing, right? So in this slide, what we are seeing is title tags. All these things, whatever we are seeing over here, we have to use our primary keyword everywhere, for which we want to rank that particular page, not the website, because each page has different content, and different content we are using different keywords. With one keyword you cannot rank the whole website. With one keyword you can rank only one page. That is the rule of search engine optimization laid down by Google. So because see, in Google over here we are already seeing there are so many websites for a particular keyword. Now if you are using say one keyword in two of your pages, then what will happen? Instead of fighting with these all people, your two pages will fight with each other, that which page should get displayed in search engine first. So then maybe none of the pages might come up, or maybe one page might come up. So for that reason, it is always suggested that you use different keywords with different topics or different pages that you are creating on your website. So once we decide that for this page, this is the particular keyword which I want to optimize, or this on this particular topic, this page is there. So then we need to add our keyword in that title tag. So in title tag, our content should be there. So say over here, I'm searching for digital marketing course. So digital marketing course, you can see over here, say digital marketing is coming. Then over here also you can see digital marketing course is coming. Then digital marketing is coming over here. So wherever we are searching for digital marketing, say digital marketing is coming over here. See, in all the titles, digital marketing is coming. Even if you go to fifth page, sixth page, 10th page, 100 page, digital marketing will be there on the top. If you find any, I mean, you will not find any of the page without this particular keyword in the title. So in case if your website is not using that primary keyword in the title, then your website will not come up in search engine. So that is the first rule. So whatever keyword you want to use for a page, that keyword should be in the title of the page. So that is title tag. Then we have description. So description is called as meta description. So like meta title, we have meta description in the language of search engine optimization. So now what is meta description? So meta description is the description which you can read over here, and this is the most important because say people will not just click on this because just because this is at the top, but it is not necessary that what I'm looking for is over here. Maybe what I'm looking for, the content is over here in this website. So people will first read this content over here, people will read this description. Maybe the person might go with this third link over here and not with the first link. So your description should be very precise, and it should be the description which will attract people to click on this link. So this you should use, and this description which we are using should also contain your primary keyword. So you can see in each and every description which is highlighted over here, you will find digital marketing. So here also you can see digital marketing course. Over here you can see digital marketing. Over here you can see digital marketing and course also. Over here you can see marketing and digital. So basically these two words should be present. So even if this is a paid ad also, you can see digital marketing is there. Otherwise even the ad will not come up. So over here also you can see digital marketing. Over here also you can see digital marketing. Let us go to the second page. So usually people don't go to second page, third page. See over here also you can see digital marketing. Over here also you can see digital marketing. Over here also you can see digital marketing. Every page, whichever page you go in Google, you will find this keyword in the description. So that is what we meant by meta description. So meta description should also contain your main keyword. Now the next thing is URL. In the URL also, your primary keyword which you have used in title and description should appear in the URL. So let us find out whether these websites are having this keyword in their URL or not. So I will open the page. So I go to the first page over here and open the first result over here. So this is mcta.co.in. So I will open and see whether I find this keyword in the URL or not. So I'll open this in a new tab, and in this URL you can see digital marketing is there. So digital marketing is there. So your third criteria is fulfilled. Now let us open any other uh, page. So this is the second page over here. So I'll open this second. So over here also you can see digital marketing is there in the URL, right? Now I open the third option over here. So over here also you can see digital marketing is there in the URL. So like this, uh, every page should contain your URL, should contain your primary keyword which you are using in the content, in the title, everywhere. See over here in the title also they are using digital marketing is there. You can see in the title also, in the description also they had used, and in the URL also it is there. So like this, you need to have your keyword in this URL also. Then site navigation. Site navigation is the links in your website which should contain digital marketing, that is your primary keyword. So this is the page over here, and you might find various links over here. You can see this is the keyword over here. So this is a link. So if I click on this, so I can go to some place. Over here also you can see digital marketing is a link over here. So like this in navigation, navigation means the menu which will take you from one page to another. So in the links also you need to have your keywords. So here if I click on the courses over here, you can see in the link of your website you can see digital marketing is there, and this is the navigation link which will take me to this course. See over here marketing and digital both are there. So over here also you can see digital marketing, which I click, so it will take me to other page of the same website. So that will take me to the other course. So and over here also you can see digital marketing is there, and on in the title also you find digital marketing over here. So everywhere that should be present. So in your navigation, so that is the menu, the links should contain digital marketing anywhere. So your primary keyword should be there in the site navigation also. Then sitemaps. So sitemap is a different file. So this is not something all these things, all the components of the website. But yes, this is the component of the website, but it is a different thing. So let me just show you what exactly it is. So sitemap and these robot.txt files. So we will see these two files first, because these two are the files which are called as communication file between your website and a search engine. So any search engine, it is not just Google search engine, but any search engine. Because whenever search engine will bots will come, or the robots will come, or the spiders will come on your website, first of all it will search for its file called as robot.txt file. So let me show you the robot.txt file. How does it look like? So over here I have this file robot.txt file, and I will also open sitemap also. So this is the sitemap of so sitemap is basically collection of all the links of my website, all the pages, all the links, all the tags, all the category, all the images, any link which is present on my website is listed over here. So I believe there are approximately 700, 800 links over here which I can see. So this is around 2500 and one row. So 2500 rows means, okay, so approximately this is say 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 divided by 6. So approximately yeah, approximately 600 700 links are there in this page over here. So these are all the links of my website, so where you can find my domain name, so hypopedia.com over here. So these are the collection of links. So what is the use of this? We will see this before that we will learn what is this robot.txt file. So now, like I said, that whenever a search engine spider or a bot will come, it will first look for its file robot.txt, whether this file is present on the server or not. This file, these two files do not need to be linked at anywhere on the website. You just need to place these two files in the server, in the root directory, where all the pages of our websites are there. So now when that bot will come to our website, it will find this file, it will open this file and start to read this. So it will read the first line, user agent star. So star means it applies to all search engines. Now uh, all the search engine bots will function the same way. All, let's say, like Google bot will come to the website and it will crawl all the content. Then Yahoo's bot name is Yahoo Slurp. So Yahoo Slurp will come to our website and collect all the data. Then MSN bot will come up, then Bing bot will come up, then AOL bot will come up like that. All the user agent of search engines will come to our website to collect data. Now, so that our content will come up in all search engines. Now, if I want that, I don't want my website content on all search engines. I want it only in Google and Bing and Yahoo, only in three search engines. So what I need to do is, instead of this star, I just need to write the name of the bots, so which are allowed to access my website. So I will use Google bot. Then I will use the same thing over here. Say Yahoo Slurp and Bing bot. So I want only these three user agents to come and collect on my website. So if my content is crawled by search engines, then my website will come up only in these three search engines. So if it is star, then say all search engines will come and they will read the first line, and they will say that okay, fine, over here we are allowed. So star means any bot can come and collect the content. So Google bot will come, it will read the first line, star, okay, I'm allowed. Then it will read the next line, allow slash. Slash means home directory. So it means that Yahoo bot understands that I have to collect all the content from the home directory of this website, and other directories also I am allowed to collect the content. Now, there might be some of the directories which I do not want to come up in search engine. So at that time, I can tell all the bots that disallow this particular directory. So this is the admin directory with which I can log in. Administrator can log in to manage the website. Now, this URL cannot be seen by the users, and if they see, they will just see a login page, so they do not have the username and password. So what is the use of showing that page to the users which is not applicable to the users? So I will say disallow this particular directory. So then Google bot will respect our websites robot.txt file, whatever we have written into it, and it will not take any content from this. Then it will read the next line. So next line, it reads that sitemap is located at this location. So immediately what it will do is it will close this file and it will go to that particular location, and it will collect all the data, all the links from these file, and it will collect all the data from the links which are provided. Because now what happens is that maybe I do not want all the, say, some of the pages or some of the directories or some of the files to be accessed by the world. Maybe I might have some private family photographs, so I can disallow those directories. I can disallow some images of my website so that people cannot copy, so I can do all those things. So in this file, we are creating only the links which Google bots are allowed to take in and store in Google's database. So of course you don't need to worry. This is 3000 lines code over here. You don't need to write anything over here. This file is generated automatically. So we will learn how to generate this file. So this file is the file where all the links of our website is collected. So all the data from this particular URL, this particular URL, this particular URL, and all the URLs which are present in the file, all the content from all the URLs will be taken and stored in Google's database. So this is how, when I was asking that how does the content come up in search engine, so this is how the search engine content comes up in search engine. Like the bot will come, it will first go to robot.txt file, and there it will get to know that which are the directories that I need to take, which are the directories which I don't need to take, and then it will search for the XML file, that is the sitemap file, and then it will go to that particular file, and then it will collect all the data from the links which are present in the website, and then it will store in Google's database. And when people will search with the keywords which are matching with my website, so then my website will come up. So this is how all the process comes up. So Google does not put it manually, and the website owners also do not put it manually. It is these two communication files with which our website comes up in search engine. Now, what happens? You might even ask that what happens that if we do not put these two files in our server? Okay, that's fine. So if you do not put these two files in the server, then the chances are that Google might, or any bot, any spider, any bot which is coming to our website will collect everything on the website, whether we want that or we don't want that. All the content will be taken and stored in Google search database. And other thing is that even worse can happen, like it will do not find the files, communication files, and it will leave our website and go. So there are both the options. Either it will collect, if it collects, then it will collect everything, whether it is allowed or not allowed, everything will be collected and it will be stored, and it will be publicly viewable worldwide. So that is the problem. So we need to have these files so that we can control what content we want to put it and show it to the world in from Google search engine or any search engine, and we can disallow whatever content we do not want to show to the world. So for that reason, we create this sitemap file wherein we are telling that you are allowed to take content only from these URLs and no other URLs. That's it. So this was about the communication files on our server. Now the next thing is images over here. Now say we are using all the important our primary keyword in all the places. The same way we have to use it in the images. So now you might say that how can we use text in images? Because images is a image where we cannot write anything. So how does all these things work? So how do we write content? So now say we are using our primary keyword in all these places. So how do we write our primary keyword in the image? I will show you. Say whenever you upload any images on your website, so these are the images which are already uploaded on my website. So now I am not writing anything inside the image. This is automatic. These are the actual images. But over here you can see the name of the image. The name of the image is not any junk character like 1.jpg or xyz123.jpg. Every image has a particular name of that image with which it represents that image. So this is related to marketing. Now this image is related to business. This image is related to core web vitals. This image is related to content. This image is related to search engine optimization. So every image has a particular name. You can see none of the junk names are there. Every image is having a particular name of the image. Because see, Google bots who are coming to collect the content on our website, they cannot see the image, they cannot read the image, because say it is an image. If it is text, then yes, it can read, but images it cannot read. So for that reason, we have to use a particular name over here which represents what we want to depict in our website. So this is the name of the image that we have added, and there is one more that is called as alternative text, wherein we write about the image and some description about the image. So we have two extra fields when we upload the image. So that can be used even if we are doing manual programming or we are using WordPress. We have those options over there. We can use it so that Google bot will exactly get to know that what this image is about. So what happens with that? So say suppose I go to Google. and I go to Google Images. Now, when I'm searching for a keyword like real estate, so now you see what happens. See, all the images which are displayed are related to real estate. All the images are related to real estate. Do you see any other image, any other category image, or say any digital marketing image over here? No. Everything is related to real estates. See, each and every image. Now, if I search for, say, digital marketing, now you see what happens. Now, do you see any real estate images over here? No. All images are related to digital marketing. So how does this happen? This happens with this particular thing that we are using it. We are naming this as the name, and in the alternative text of the image we are using what this image is about, and in the description we write full description about this image. So maybe one line or two line that we can write. So there is no restrictions, but yes, maximum we can write 160 characters, so that we can use. So for that reason, if we are using this right thing, then we can find the right image when people are searching for this. Now, say using this, people will not just find the images. People will find the website URL also. So when people are searching for our images or our keywords, then people will find our website also. So it is not just the images that people are searching. Say, let me search for digital marketing, say, course in Kharghar. Now let me see. So over here there are various images, mm, so many, and you can see all the website URLs are coming up over here. See, like this over here. So like this it comes up. So I mean there are many websites which are coming up. Then if I search for digital marketing course, then let me see what it comes. So there also various websites are coming up. You can see all the websites are coming up over here. Now if I search for, say, Helpopedia, then you can see my website is my this is my Facebook URL. So wherever this keyword is used, all the websites and everything is coming up over here. So you can see Hypopedia. So this is my Facebook page. Over here, this is my logo of my website. Over here, this is one of the video of my website, say from the blog. This is from the Facebook. This is from the YouTube also. This is from another website where I have added my content. Then this is from the YouTube. This is my old logo, from Twitter. This is from the Daily Motion channel. So this is also belongs to me. So this is over here also you can see Hypopedia EduTech. This is my logo is coming up. This is another website coming up. So like this, we get to know all these things over here. We get the right content over here. So that is the reason we need to use the proper keywords over here, and we need to use the images over here. So in images we need to use the proper naming convention in the images. Now the next thing is headings. So what are headings? So headings is the, say, on any website you will find a heading. So say let me go to my website, helpopedia.com/blog. Okay, so now let me open any of these blogs over here. So Google says that you need to have headings in your content. So whether it is a blog or a page or anything, you need to have headings, and those headings should contain your primary keywords. So let me see over here. You can see this is the heading over here, this is the heading, and then the content about it. So over here also a content about it, and in this also you need to have your primary keyword, influencer motivation. So you can see over here this is influencer marketing. So influencer is my primary keyword, and over here you can see influencer is used in the heading. Over here also you can see influencer is used. So over here also you can see it is used. So it is not necessary that you use multiple times or in all the headings. There is certain limits that we have to use, so that we will get to know once we do practically. So like this we need to use headings. So in all the blogs you will see the headings. Over here this is the main heading of the topic. Then over here you can see this is the heading over here, this is again the heading, and then the text over here, then again heading over here. So Google says that you have, after every 300 words you need to have a heading. So it should not cross 300. If it is less, then it's okay, but not more than 300. So if the paragraph is long, then it is difficult for people to understand what is going on or what is written over here. So for that reason, we need to have headings over here. So that is the reason we use headings, and in the headings, we have to use our primary keywords. So that is what is mentioned over here. So in all the over here in this also we can see heading is over here. Also over here also we can see, over here also we can see. Okay, so this one we have already seen. So like this we can see the headings over here. So, and those headings should contain our primary keyword. So heading also we have seen, then robot.txt file we have used, and then keyword usage. So what is keyword usage? So now when we are talking about the description and URL and everywhere, so keyword usage means the keyword that we are using. So over here maybe I'm using influencer marketing as my main keyword for this particular blog. So influencer marketing I have used everywhere. So in the title also I'm using. So okay, so this is the force title. So I need to remove this, so that I'll be removing it. So say it should be in the title, it should be in the description, it should be in the heading, and it should also be in the content over here. So you can see over here influencer marketing is there. So now if I search, let me see how many times I am using it over here. So I'm using it 12 times. So 12 times over here I am searching, so I can see over here 12 times. So everywhere, wherever influencer marketing is there, I'm using it in the content. Over here it is there, over here it is there, over here it is there. I scroll down, it might be at the bottom also. So like this, say 12 times I'm using it on this particular page. So now what happens is that why do I need to write this keyword multiple times in this page? See, if I do not differentiate a particular keyword with the content or use it more number of times, then how will Google bot get to know that this is the main primary keyword, which is used for the maximum number of times in the content? So I have to use whatever keyword I need to use. I have to use it in my entire content right from the start to the end. So it should be distributed accordingly, and it should not be that okay, in one paragraph if I have to write 10 times I will write it 10 times in one paragraph. No, it's not like that. It should be distributed uniformly across the page. And now the usage, how many times I should use this keyword in my page. So it depends on the number of words that you are using in your content. So how does that mean? Say suppose I am using 500 words. So say suppose this uh, keyword, say this is very long, so maybe this is 1,000 words. I use 1,000 words. Okay, so 1,000 words topic is this. So now how many times I need to use influence marketing over here? So Google says that you have to use at least 2% to maximum of 3% times your content. So say suppose I have 1000 words content overall, so 2% of 1000. So how much is 2% of 1000? So it is 20, and 3% of 1000 is 30. So 20 to 30 times I have to use this keyword over here in my content. If my word, if it is of 1000 keywords, so now if it is say 300 words, then how much I have to use? So if it is less, then say maybe I can use 2 to 3%. So 2% of this is how much? 2 threes are 6. So 6 times I can use. Or if I calculate 3%, then I can use it for 9 times. So 9 times I have to use my focus key phrase in my page, so that I can use. So every page will have a different keyword. So yes, so this page will contain 6 to 9. So you have to remember the formula of 2 to 3% times of your content. So 2% of the number of words that your article is, or your blog is, or your page is, whatever it is. So you have to use it for minimum 2% to maximum of 3% in your page. So that is what we have to use. So that is keyword usage. And then over here it is negative on page SEO. So actually now we have removed negative on page SEO. So negative on page SEO, now we are not using it on the website. So now actually it is the keyword density over here. So keyword density, what I mean is the number, how much close you are using. So like I said that you cannot use say if I have to use 30 times over here, so I cannot just finish up 30 times using influencer marketing in this one paragraph. No, then the keyword density is too much, then I cannot use it. So I said that you need to use it uniformly across the page. So it is a very long page, so it should be there uniformly in all the paragraphs, or at least after 2 to 3 paragraphs. If you can use it, then you can use it, and it should complete the minimum percentage level. So that is what we meant by keyword density. Then we have mobile SEO. So what is mobile SEO? So say the SEO that we are doing over here, say in Google. Say I'm going to Google over here. So the SEO that we are doing over here, say like I search for any keyword like digital marketing course. Now say I'm typing the keyword. Okay, say I'm searching for say real estate. So now there are two options over here. So first of all, I am typing over here and then I am pressing enter so that I can find all the results. The other option is I am using this search by voice. I am using the voice over here to search the keyword. So it is not necessary that your website, if your website is coming up by typing the keyword and your website is coming, it will also come with voice search. No, it is not necessary, because the algorithm of this search and algorithm of this search is different. Now, these are the two things in desktop. The same way in mobile also it works the same way. So if you are opening Google in mobile, you can type and search, and you can use voice search and search. So there also you will get different results. So there are four different possibilities that your website will come up or it doesn't come up. So for that, what should we do? So over here we have the option that we have to make sure that we are using right kind of plugins, or say if you are creating a custom website, then you need to do the right programming mentioning about the search for mobile in your code. But now, since nowadays nobody is using, say, only corporates are using custom development, but nowadays even they have started to use the content management system. So they use Drupal, WordPress, or say mostly they use Drupal, Magento, and all those kind of things. But generally, 80% of the people worldwide are using WordPress for creating a website because it is very easy to create. The UI is very good and easy to understand, and you can create a website in just 2 hours, and you can create a beautiful website. So now, since we are using WordPress, there are various plugins that are available which we install in our WordPress, and those plugins will take care of our search results in Google or any search engine. So what are plugins? So say in our laptop, we install various software so that we can use those softwares. The same way, plugins are also small applications which we can install in WordPress so that it will enhance the functionality of the website. So if I give you a simple example that I want to have a contact us form on my website. So contact us form, when a person will fill up the name, email address, mobile number, and his message, and then he will click on submit. What happens when a person will click on submit? So either it will go and store the message in the database, or else it will send an email to the registered email. So on the button click, it will send all the details to the registered owner, so or whatever email address I have used over there. So this action is there. So in olden days, people used to code that okay, this define this field as name, and it has a variable called as name, which is using a text field which can use 255 characters. Then using defining a variable called as email, wherein defined a field called as email, then variable defining as email, and with the type is email. So over there I cannot use text. So if I'm using anything else, then it will give me error. So I have to use email only. So then I will write the same way. I will define phone number and I will define a variable phone number. So variables are basically all the data which a person fills that will be stored in that, and then it will go and store in that particular table of the database. So over there it will create one table with all the fields that I'm defining over here, so that when a person will fill up all the details, the same things will be stored in the database. Then I can get all the things, and then it will also send me an email that I have received a contact form from my website. So that was the olden days, and doing this is very tedious process. It takes time. Uh, but in today's date, if I want to have a contact us form in just 1 minute, I can install a plugin for contact us form, and I can create whatever fields I want, that all things, and I just define that after submitting on which email address uh, I want all the details. So yes, in just 1 minute I can configure all these things. So that is a plugin. So plugin I am installing for contact us plugin I am using. The same way I am installing a plugin for newsletter subscription, where people can enter their name and email address and then click on subscribe. So then I will get all the subscribers for my website. Then maybe I want to create a business inquiry form on my website, so that also I can do. Then say I want people to share my page. So if I'm writing a blog and people like that blog and they want to share it with their friends, So in WhatsApp also we are doing the same thing. So if I like any post or any message, I forward it to my friends or my groups. So if a person is reading my blog, if he likes my blog and he wants to share it to all the Facebook friends, then I need to install a social share plugin on my website. So over here I'll just show you. See over here, you can see this is social sharing plugin. So if I want to share this blog to social media, then I can just click on this, and it will ask me to log into Facebook, and then this blog will with the URL and image will come up, and then I can share it to Facebook. So that is how it works. So this is the plugins. Okay. So this is the plugin which I have installed. So this is not added in the website. This is the plugin because of which it is coming up over here. It is coming up at the bottom also. So at the bottom also you will find the same plugin. You can see over here also it is there. So maybe people do not click from the start. So because after reading only people will share. So maybe initially on the top people did not share. So over here they have the option after reading it they can share this. So like this they can do it. So this is plugin. Now say there are many things that you can use with plugins. Say maybe let me just see what else I have. See over here newsletter subscription. So this is the newsletter subscription that I'm using. Then over here you can see comment section. So normally below every blog I can people can write comments, but those are anonymous. Usually people write their wrong name or wrong email address or wrong mobile number. So I will not get to know. But this comment that people want to write over here, people need to log in and then write comment over here. So and people can even give this reactions. So that is what we can use over here. So that is the plugins that we install for any reason we want. We can use this plugin over here. People need to log in with social logins like Facebook or Gmail or Twitter, and then only they can post a comment so that we will get the right identity. So that in case if we want to contact them, we can contact them and give them a proper justification for whatever question they have asked. So that all things or any questions they might have asked, we can reply. Or if they have asked for some features, we can tell them that okay, we would be coming up in future or something like that. So this plugins will help us a lot. So everything is very fast with just typing and clicking few buttons here and there, clicking few clicks. I can install a plugin and yes, that's done. So don't worry, we will be learning this when we will be learning WordPress website in the next session. Whenever we'll be learning, so we will be doing all these things practically. So you will exactly understand what is plugin, how it is done, how it is configured, how it is placed in the website. So that all things we'll be learning. So don't worry about that. So that is mobile SEO over here. So we have to make sure that our website is searchable in search engines. Plus the our website should be responsive. So mobile responsive or just responsive. So what does this responsive mean? It means that in whichever device I open my website, it should look good. It should be uniform. It should not go outside the screen. So otherwise I will have to scroll left and right to read. So if this is over here and this much is the say the screen, so I have to scroll to the right to reach over here, and then again I scroll left, then I reach over here, then I start to read. So I mean it's very difficult. Why do I need to scroll down? I just need to scroll up to read the content. It should fit within my screen. So that is called as responsive. So maybe I might be opening on a 4-inch screen or say 5-inch screen or 6-inch screen or a tablet or say a big desktop of 21 inches, 24 inches, or maybe I might be opening my website on a television of 32 inches. My website should open properly, and the shape of my website should be perfect on all the size of the devices. So that is called as responsive. So if I tell you in easy words, then say our website should be like water. In whichever vessel you put, it will take the shape. So if you are taking the water in a spoon, then it will fit in the spoon also. If you are taking it in a small vessel, it will fit over there also. So it will take the shape of that vessel. So like that, our website should be that on whichever size of the screen I'm opening my website, whether I'm opening it on a desktop, laptop, small mobile, big mobile, tablet, or televisions or Xbox, wherever I'm opening, say my website should open uniformly, and it should be visible properly. So these are the standards that we need to follow for mobile SEO. And then over here at the end, we are seeing this arrow over here. You can see this arrow over here. So this arrow means that this process does not end over here. This process has to be repeated continuously. But you might say that I've already added the description, I've already added the title tag, so do I need to add it again and again? No, you don't need to add again and again. But like I said, that when we do keyword research, say today I'm using real estate as the uh, best keyword, and I get to know that okay, there are many searches for real estate, maybe 10,000 or 1 lakh searches. People are searching from Mumbai or India. People are searching 1 lakh. People are searching for real estate. So that keyword is really very good. So I'm using it. But tomorrow, maybe, or say maybe after 2 months or 3 months, real estate might not, people might not be searching for real estate. People might be searching with the keyword properties. So then what I do? So when people will search for real estate, my website will not come up because say the keyword has say dropped the number of searches. Search numbers have dropped for real estate. So then what do I do? Properties say trending keyword. So in that case, I need to replace everything wherever I've used the real estate. I need to replace them with properties. So that is the continuous process. So again, properties is the keyword which people are searching. So you have to stay with the people. Whatever people are searching, that keyword you should use over here, because otherwise what happens that today your website might be at the top, but then tomorrow it will slowly go down the position. Say from first position it might come down to third position, then sixth position, then 10th position, then it will go to second page, then it will go to fourth page, and then after that it will vanish. So that should not happen. So if you want to maintain your position, you need to keep on doing research. So I don't say that you do it every day. No, every day it is not suggested. You need to do it at least once a week. Once a week, you need to do the research and check whether everything is good. So then your website will always stay in Google with the keywords that people are searching. So that is on page optimization over here. So this is all the process that we need to follow when we are doing search engine optimization. Of course there are other methods also. So now when we are talking about, say, in the introduction session, we had learned that this is organic marketing, and organic marketing takes a lots of time and efforts. So in the practical session, we will be learning, in the next session, we will be doing it practically, that how exactly all these things we will be implementing, how to create the content. Because creating the content, again, like I said, that everybody are not content writers. So now if you want to write a blog, because see, blog is something which will attract people a lot, and people like to read blogs, people need information on various topics. So people search for various topics on online. So if anything, people, there might be people searching for topics on this real estate also. Because see, there is very little knowledge a person might have about real estate, because that is offbeat product. So of course everybody needs it, everybody uses it, but the knowledge people do not have. So if even if you ask me that how much stamp duty and registration I have to pay if I buy a new plot, I do not know that. That is not my say syllabus. That is out of my syllabus. So that is what. So if I want to know what will I do, I will go and search on Google what is the stamp duty and registration for 1 BHK of this many square feet. That I will search on Google. But if somebody has written something on that topic, then only that content will come up, right? So for that reason, you need to write blogs and you need to write content. So now, how do you write content? So I mean, you cannot. Everybody cannot be a content writer. If you have a flair for writing, then it's a different thing. But usually, everybody cannot be content writers. So now if I want to use content for my website, how will I use? So there are various methods with which we can use the content. So yes, we can take ideas from various websites. We have various generators with which we can generate content, and then of course we need to modify those contents. See, copying from another website, you are doing some research, you are taking some content from some website, you are taking some content from another website. That's okay, that's fine. Say, I don't say that you cannot copy. You can copy, but do not keep it as it is. You need to modify that content. So yes, we have various tools with which we can modify the things. It is very easy. So, I mean, in just 5 minutes, the whole content will be modified, and then if you check on Google whether this content is used in any of the website. So it will say that this is unique content and this content is not used on any website. So it becomes original, and then I can use it on my website. So then Google will definitely pick up my content because it is not used anywhere. So that all things we'll be using and learning in the next session when we do start the things practically. These steps which we have learned today is for on-page optimization, where we are working on the website like title, tags, meta description, URL. These all things are there in the website. So we are working on our website. We are touching our website and going to each and every page, editing everything and doing all these things. So this is the reason it is called as on-page optimization. Now the next part that we have is off-page optimization. So off-page optimization is we are off the website. Now our website, we are not touching our website. We are not going to touch our website. So then how can we optimize? So off-page optimize is all the efforts that we take to promote our website so that our website will come up in search engine results. So how is that done? So it's basically that your website is done, you have done on-page optimization on your website, and now it's time to tell the world that you have a website. So for that reason, this is the best method and the strongest module. So strongest module in terms of results. This is the module which can make your content go viral. This is the module which will bring you to the top. Not directly, but indirectly, your website will be listed everywhere worldwide. So this is off-page optimization. So how is it done? So you prepare a promotional content. So see, whenever you want to give some advertisement, so you prepare some content. Okay, so this should be my title of the heading. This should be the description. Somewhere big descriptions are allowed, somewhere small descriptions are allowed. So you prepare different types of descriptions. Then you will be using your URL. So see, off-page optimization is basically the process of building the links worldwide. So people will see your links. When people will click on those content, people will come to your website. So this process is called as backlink. So backlink is when people will click on that link and come back to your website is called as backlinks. So now, how is this content done? So like I said that you prepare the promotional content, so which with which you want to promote your website. So what do we do? I prepare a title, description, URL, and somewhere also you require images or videos also. So videos is not important, but yes, images somewhere it is used. So if it is asking, then yes, you can use somewhere. Even logos can be uploaded. So fine. So we have prepared our content, and now we can submit our website to various directory submissions. So what is directory submission? Uh, you know Just Dial, right? So people will register their business in Just Dial also. Then say we had yellow pages. So now previously we had physical yellow pages. Now we have online yellow pages. So we can register our business in yellow pages. Like this, there are various online directories. So for various products and services, say like Trade India, India Mart, then Exporters India. Like this, there are various directories where we can submit our website. So you need to be registered in Just Dial also. You need to be there in over there also. Yellow Pages, India Mart, Trade India, Exporters India. All these places you need to be registered. And over there, it is not like search engine that you take a lot of time and efforts and your result will not come up, because those are websites and internal searches of those websites, your results will 100% come up. So if people are searching for your keyword real estate and if anything in particular, like I said that digital marketing courses in Kharghar, so if that like that, if you are forming some of your services or products, then in that case your company's name would definitely come up. So that is directory submissions. Then say we have search engine submissions. So nowadays, of course, all these search engine submissions are automatic. Like I said, the procedure, the bots will come, they will collect the content, and then they will store it in the database. So that all process is automated. But say still, there are certain search engines which are being manually. Say they don't have automated procedures, and say there are thousands of search engines available. So if you want to submit to all the search engines, we have various tools with which we can go and submit our website to worldwide all search engines with just one click. So one click and your website will be submitted to thousands of search engines. Somewhere it has to be done manually also. Somewhere you need to verify also. So that's fine. But after taking that efforts, yes, your website will be submitted to all the search engines. So that is one of the thing. Then you can promote, you can write a blog or article submission. So you can write some blog on your topic, like giving some information, important information which you feel that people will like this information, so that you can use. See, nowadays over here in Kharghar, there was some topic about paying some property tax. Every flat owners got some bill from Sidco, not from Sidco, I think from this Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, of some 24,000 rupees for each and every flat. So now, and that is from the time this NMMC has come into effect, that is from 2016. Now, what is the update that all Kharghar Forum and everybody, all the local corporators and everybody are saying that we are not going to pay everything because they have not provided us all the services from 2016. They just came in and they have charged the amount from 2016. So this is something sensitive topic where people are keep on searching. Till date nobody has paid anything. So if you know, if you have some update on that, you write some topic over there and you share it with your friends and family. So if this is a hot topic which is going on right now, then it is very easy for your website to come up in search engine because you are providing the information that people are looking for. So you write it on other blogs and other blogs websites. So there are thousands of websites where you can write blogs. So and wherever you write a blog, you post that content, you will post the link to that link to your website, because without your link, off page optimization is zero, because off page optimization is the game of links, building more and more links everywhere worldwide in all the websites. So like that you can use it over here. Then social media. So yes, social media is the best place where you can promote your content, and you can add your links, and it can be added immediately. So you can post it on Facebook, you can post it on Instagram, you can post it on YouTube. Like that, there are millions of other social media networks which we are going to see, say top 50 websites or top 100 websites where we can post our content. So yes, initially we need to create accounts over there, and then we can post it. So like that, we are going to use all that information and post it on social bookmarking or social media websites. Then we post it in free classifieds in say OLX and Quicker. So that is something that people are using every single day. So over there also you can list all your product services. Over there in OLX and Quicker, you have the option for OLX services. So in case if you are providing some services, then you can go to OLX services and you can select from hundreds of categories available over there, and you can post it over there along with your link. So people will definitely come and inquire about that, and or else they will come to your website. So that is one of the best thing that you can do. So free classifieds, there are billions of websites, there are no more websites than classified websites worldwide. So we will see one of the best, world's biggest classified websites from each, and so that website is having say facility for worldwide cities, individual pages. If you are from say Mumbai, so you can post from Mumbai. So it is mumbai.xyz.com, like that. The URL will be there. If you are from Pune, then pune.xyz.com. If you are from California, then california.xyz.com. So that website is Craigslist.org. So it is like Mumbai.Craigslist.org, then Pune.Craigslist.org, California.Craigslist.org. So that is world's biggest classified website, and there is immense traffic over there. So you can post over there also. So that is a very good option. You can get international clients also. Then say we can write some press releases. So press releases in real estate, I'm not sure, because press release you write when you are launching some new product or a service or anything. At that time you can use. So of course you can promote it in press releases also. Then backlinks. Backlinks, you are building more and more backlinks on say high uh, uh, ranking pages. So you write your content, you post your content on high ranking pages on various websites. So what happens that your content will come up on say high ranking websites. So how to find those ranks, that also we will see in the next session. So how to find, how to place it. So not next session, because from next session we will be doing how to create a website, and then we will be doing search engine optimization on it, on page search engine optimization on it, and after that off page search engine optimization. So that will be doing. So maybe after 2 3 lectures, maybe we'll be seeing this off page optimization. So that is building more and more backlinks worldwide. So that we need to do. So more backlinks means Google will think that okay, there are millions of or say thousands of websites who are talking about this particular website. So this website definitely must be important, so let the ranking of this website increase. So automatically the ranking of your website will come to the top. And when you are posting on all these websites, there are millions of users or thousands of users or say lakhs of users of those websites who come regularly on those websites and click on various links and go to the websites. They find new information on every website. So now just imagine if you have posted on 1,000 websites. So from 1,000 websites, if there are hundreds of people coming and clicking on the links from every website, you are getting just 100 people. So 1,000 into 100, you can just imagine the amount of traffic that you will be getting. So this is just for 1,000. So if you have say 5,000, 10,000 links placed across the globe on all the websites, then you can just imagine after 30 to 40,000 or 50,000, your content will go viral. See, viral does not mean that okay, in 24 hours you get lots of views. It's called viral. So this viral is something different, wherein say it is like a chain reaction which cannot be stopped unless and until you remove the page and you stop the traffic. So over here, because you are posting on, see, 50,000 websites, you are posting say 10 content every month, and say on each and every website, even if you are just calculating 100 people coming to your website, so 50,000 into 10 posts into say 100. So you can calculate how many users you will be getting every single day. So yes, that is every single day you will be getting that type of traffic. So yes, automatically your ranking worldwide of your website will increase, and you will get traffic everywhere from all the websites. So, and this is guaranteed. See, search engine optimization, that is on page optimization, there is no guarantee because you are competing with so many people. See, in Google, when we were searching for any keyword over here, say like I search for okay, I search for real estate. So for real estate, there are this many results. So it means that you are fighting for on-page optimization. You are fighting with so many people to get your content over here. So it is going from say millions of people's crowd passing through that crowd and going in front of all of them. So that is very difficult process. So that is fighting with so many people and competing with so many people and then coming in the website. So over here it is not guaranteed. Even if your website might come up, it might take say maybe 1 week or 15 days or 6 months or 8 months or 10 months or 12 months, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or sometimes never. So most of the time people take little efforts on search engine optimization, because of which their website never comes up in search engine. So that is the most important thing. So over here the results are not guaranteed at all. But when we are talking about off-page optimization, this is 100% guaranteed, and your content will come up in search engine within 15 to 20 days maximum. 15 to 20 days your content will be everywhere. But of course it doesn't mean that you just post one link everywhere and it's done. No, you need to do this continuously. I mean every day if you do, then only it will say your website will come up in search engines. So that is what we see. So how exactly does this work? So if I go to search engine and over here, if I search over here, say like Helpopedia, so then say what happens is, so my website will come up over here. You can see my website will come up. Okay, that's fine. But I have posted this Helpopedia EduTech content everywhere. So over here you can see this is on another website. It is coming up. My website is coming up. Then from Trustpilot also it is coming up. My reviews are coming up from Trustpilot. Then from Facebook also my content is coming up because I posted content on say off. I have done off page SEO on Facebook also. I have added a lot of content. See, on LinkedIn also I have added a lot of content, so because of which my name is coming up over here and Helpopedia is also coming up. See over here, this is on Play Store. See, on Play Store also I have added my app and I have added the Optimize My app with various keywords. So over here also you can see my name is coming up. Then over here another app is there. Then from YouTube also you can see my name, my picture, my video over here you can see. Then on download.cnet.com also you can see my Helpopedia EduTech is there. So people will get to know about this. So when say this is called as indirect because your website, if it is coming on your website with SEO on page SEO, then yes, your website will come up. But this has no guarantee over here that your website will come up on the top. But with off page SEO, say it is guaranteed, but it will come up indirectly. Say everywhere your name is there, but wherever you have posted your content, it is coming. That was the reason I said that wherever you post your content, you have to put your link. So when people will click on this particular page, or say people will click on this particular link on Facebook, so over there, there should be some link so that people can click on that link and come to your website, right? So that is the right method. So your content will definitely come up. See, the most important thing is that your business should be seen on Google, whether it is direct or indirect. See, direct has lots of efforts, but indirect, say, you can get your content immediately. So doing this is, I mean, it is very easy, but yes, it takes little efforts. Wherein you need to register. First of all, you need to register on all the websites, and then you can add content to it. So that is only it's just a little time consuming process. But once you have a list of 5,000 websites, if you have registered on 5,000 websites and you have noted down all the username and password, so I'll show you how to maintain that Excel sheet. So next time whenever you want to promote any content, you already have 5,000 websites ready with usernames and password, and next time there are no efforts because you already have a list of 5,000 websites. You just need to log into those websites, post the content. It will not take more than 1 minute to post one content. So even if in 1 hour, if you can easily post, say 40 links on various websites, it's really very good. Initially, it might take 3-4 minutes for one website, but later on it will just take few seconds because you have already registered an account. So anything that we start first, it is a bit difficult, then it is easy. So that is what off-page SEO is. It is one of the strongest, and your content is guaranteed to come up in search engine. So this is what we are talking about. See, even say you might say that okay, Helpopedia. How many people might know Helpopedia? Okay, fine, that is correct. So people will search for digital marketing courses, right? People might search for digital marketing courses or digital marketing courses in Kharghar. So let me search for digital marketing courses. So when people will search for digital marketing courses over here also you can see Helpopedia EduTech is coming up. Over here also it is coming up. And on the map also you can see over here Helpopedia is coming up. So with digital marketing course also it is coming up, and if I search with digital marketing courses on in Kharghar, then also you can see Helpopedia is coming up on the top, and it is at the first position. There are other big companies also, big institutes also, but they are at the bottom. My listing is over here on the top. From past 1 year, it is on the top listing over here for this type of widget. This widget is on the top always. So this is what we can see over here. So this is what we mean to say. People might not know my name, people might not know my website name, but they will search with the keywords, right? So with the keywords, people will find us over here. So now you tell me, how did you find me? Okay,
I also find you like this
right.
only.
So
Digital
that is what,
marketing course
see,
in
I told you,
Kharghar.
this is what people are going to search. So wherever they are staying, they will search in that city. Say digital marketing courses in Kharghar. So the same way you need to know that what are the real estate keywords that people will search in the location of your business. So if your business is in Kharghar or Navi Mumbai or Mumbai, you need to create those keywords, and then we will search how we can select the best keywords which are used the most. So use the most means those keywords are in demand and people are using those keywords. So we are not going to use the keywords that people are not searching, because if the keyword that we are using and if people are not searching, then how will my website come up in search engine, because nobody is searching with that keyword. So optimizing, even if I've done the best optimization, my website will never ever come up in search engine. So that's what we are talking about. Research in keywords is the most important thing, whether it is on page optimization or off page optimization. We will be learning more, we will be doing a lots of keyword research, and yes, we have three tools available for keywords, and yes, applications from Google. There are many applications from Google that we are going to see, which will help us that if Google finds some problem in our website, then how we can resolve that. Otherwise, see, Google is not going to come and tell me that your website helpopedia.com is having this problem. No, but Google has provided us with some tools with which we can get to know that what are the problems that Google has detected on my website, and then I can resolve those issues, and then my website will again come back in search engine. Now, if you are not using those tools, say if the webmasters are not using those tools, then what will happen? Google will find some problem in your website. You are not using that tool, so you don't know what are the problems that you are facing. You will think that I have done the best keyword research and I'm using the best keywords in my website, but still my website is not coming up in Google. So then what should I do? I mean, you can't do anything. I mean, first of all, you do not know what is the problem Google is seeing on in your website, and you are not able to detect that problem. So, I mean, those problems. I mean, hardly you will get to know that these type of problems might exist in your website. So, if we are using those tools, then we will get to know. So, that is a must tools for all the people who are owning a website, so that we should use, so that we are going to use. So that tool is Google Search Console, so that we are going to see that. So of course, that is a little far. I mean, maybe after 5 6 lectures, or maybe after 4 5 lectures, that it will come. But all the modules that we are going to see, uh, everything is linked with each other. So if I'm not using this, then the whole the circuit does not complete. So that is how everything is linked with each other. So we have to do keyword research, we have to do on page optimization, we have to do off page optimization. Then after doing everything, then I need to use search console to see if Google has found any problem in my website, and then see work on it. So like that, everything is there. So in the next session, we will be doing going towards the practical side of this search engine optimization. So this topic was very important. That was the reason I showed you these slides. Otherwise, say now, uh, slides is very far now. Almost everything is very much practical. Now, towards the end of the course, there are two modules where I will be showing these slides, but that would be the approximately 17th or 18th lecture. That is towards the end. So that is what at that time we will have some slides to be seen on those modules. But till then, everything is practical. Now everything is practical. So whatever we will be doing from the next session, that all things you have to do also, so that I will get to know that you are doing it practically, you are understanding everything, and then we can shift to the next module, because over here doing it practically is very important. So whatever we are going to do in the next session, that of course we might do it for maybe two sessions, because two sessions we might be working on, say, uh, in first day, of course, we will be hardly able to do only one article because the explanation will take a lot of time. So, anyways, however it comes, we will take it. So, not an issue. So, see you in the next question, next session. So, if you have any questions for today, you can please ask. You can unmute your microphone and let me know. Okay, fine. So, any which way, so whenever you
No,
have
sir.
any
Yeah, it's
questions,
done.
please make a habit of noting down the questions, because we might think that, okay, I remember this, but sometimes we
Yes.
forget. So, you just note down all the questions, and either you can ask me in the next session or you can directly send me on WhatsApp. So, whenever I check your messages, I'll reply back immediately. So, directly send the questions. Don't say that I have a question. Don't waste time over there. So because maybe after 2 hours I will say, okay, please
Yeah,
send
sure.
your question. Yes, you can let me
Yeah.
know. So that will be a waste of time. Instead of that, if you have directly sent a question, then maybe whenever I'm checking, I directly send you the answer. So whatever queries you have, so my WhatsApp is always on. So my lectures are there in the night time also. So don't hesitate that, okay, it is 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the night. Don't worry. If you are working in the night and if you have any questions, please send a message, because I am awake till, say, maybe approximately 4 o'clock I am awake. So don't worry. I have lectures in the night time also at 2 to 4. I have a batch for international students from US, UK, and Europe. So I'm almost awake up till 4 o'clock. So don't worry. Don't hesitate to send message. You can send me message 24 hours, no issues at all. Whenever you have a question, directly send a question. That's it. So fine. See you in the next session, and hope
Yeah, sure.
you should have some questions. Whatever we are learning, think from all the sides, and try to ask more questions. If you ask more questions, you will learn more. So your foundation will be very strong. So just always think
Right.
that why we are doing this. Always think why we should
Sure.
do this. Why should we do this? Why are we doing it like this and not like this? So I mean, it could be many aspects. Then we will get to know. We can get the right answers. So it's okay. So that's it for today. See you in the next session. Goodbye till then. Good night. Yeah. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.